a
it
question,
is, actually
just
it's not.
ask, okay?
It's a new version of the same business.
Okay, we're live.
And that people keep mixing up. Oh, I don't understand it, but you didn't say a smartphone, but you need to use it now, right?
We're live.
Oh, we are live and direct. Welcome to the BK Crypto Sip and Chat. And this wonderful time as we enter this new moon eclipse in Aries, and it's all about being determined. It's all about expanding. It's all about being bold. It's all about creating something new, right? And so when we create something new, we're talking about something really new to most people now, which is digital assets, AI, which is also understanding the largest wealth transfer. Now, we might have been in this with 2017, but really we're seeing the common folk really stepping in now, so it is kind of new, right? And so we want to have an open conversation on everything dealing with cryptocurrency above and beyond, because at the end of the day, it's all about the integration, because this is something that can change your life. And we need to figure out how do we understand it, because to some people it's so complex, but we want to break it down to layman terms so that we as a community can continue to advance in this large wealth transfer. So I'm RB Rising, BK Crypto co-founder. We're at the Vital Shop at 1030 Union Street,
So nice.
and that's between Franklin Avenue and Bedford. And let me tell you, what sandwich are we eating today, guys? Booyaka or the Damn Boy. Flavorful. I would recommend it.
It's the mushroom wrap.
As a mushroom veggie wrap. But
Damn boy.
the Damn Boy, amazing.
Damn boy.
And so while we're here, I just want to introduce the team and just really just jump in.
Yes, welcome everyone. I wish we could pan the video around so that everybody can be seen.
Some folks are camera shy.
Name is Sel, BK Crypto co-founder. We doing here what we do every day. What we try to do every day is to educate the community as much as possible, start conversations so that people can build, especially people in our communities, Black and Brown communities, can build a better understanding of what this industry is and where we're headed to. And because we think it's that important. You know, we've as a group, we've always been left behind in terms of building wealth. And the importance is we're at a stage here where we're in about 1998, where the internet was, in terms of building and growing. For us, we feel it's important for our community to get on board early, to fully understand this space, to take advantage of it, so that all these statistics about by 2053, Black wealth will be $0. We're not about that. And this space, the uniqueness about this space is the fact that we don't need the government. We don't need the banks. We don't need the intermediaries. Really and truly, if we really wanted to boil it down, if we had enough research, enough development in this space, we can literally create a Black Wall Street across the globe, a digital Black Wall Street, which is different from a physical Black Wall Street, because we all know what they did with the original Black Wall Street. Anytime we created any type of communities of value, they came in to burn it down. So that's what this space has to offer. So that's why we're here.
Hi, I'm Kimberly, and another co-founder of BK Crypto. And I, like the others, I believe, got into cryptocurrency in 2017. So it's been like 8 years, you know. And, you know, our goal has always been to educate people, especially people of color, just let them know what's going on. Because in many cases, when we would go to conferences, we wouldn't see anyone of color or very few people as the years have progressed. There's been more and more array. But and we found that a lot of people, because they're not familiar with the technology, they don't feel comfortable asking questions. So we try to be that platform that allows people to ask questions, and, you know, openly and as freely as they feel free to. Okay.
Hi everyone, how you doing? My name is Dylan. I'm a co-founder of BK Crypto. What I want to say is this: that this is a paradigm shift, right? And we're here to take the fear out of crypto and this blockchain space, because our people are normally left behind, and this is a time for us to grab this industry very early, because when you're early in the space, it changes everything, and you have a chance to capitalize on this moving technology. And again, I think this thing is going to be so big, right? It's going to affect all parts of our lives in terms of, just our everyday lives, right? It's too big for us not to be a part of. And fear is not an option. Fear is not an option at all, because the fear is what's going to keep us behind, and we have no time for that. So welcome, and let's have a conversation. Thank you.
Definitely. So those who are not shy and those who have been in crypto for a long time, if you could just share why you got into crypto, what have you experienced, and has there been any life changing moments during this time?
I've been in crypto for all of 3 weeks.
Even if it's a short time.
I don't know what is going on.
Even if it's a short
I am
time.
not the person.
Even if it's a short time.
You are perfect. I can say why. Because you said 3 weeks, but
Not 3 weeks, maybe when did school start? What is January? Since January.
January, but something intrigued you, right? And that's anything that we do. Something intrigued you to said, I have to figure this out, understand what this is.
Well, yes, you did mention that, like, we get left behind.
Okay.
Right? So I, career-wise, don't want to be left behind. Like, I think that, cool, investment is wonderful, right? That's great. However, we need to work in it. There are going to be jobs that we don't even know, like we don't know about now, that will exist in the future. And if we do not invest in our education and and create skills in order to remain competitive in the market, we will get left behind even more, because where are you going to get the money to invest? You need a job, right?
Right.
So the market is going to demand a certain set of skills. I said, okay, let me attain those skills so that in the future, however it is that the market shifts, I am going to remain competitive, right? So the whole idea is that, again, yes, investment is very important, but I think that as a community, we need to brush up on our skills, not be scared, be curious, be teachable, be willing to learn, and just just be a student. You know what I mean? I'm a literal student, but
Yes.
I'm a literal student, but everybody should be a student, because it's like the world is changing so quickly, and our circumstances aren't, specifically in the United States, our circumstances are not getting any better. They're getting worse, right? So what's the best way to, you gotta fight with knowledge, even though they're fighting to keep us dumb. We have to stay competitive.
We have to.
Oh, sorry. We have to stay competitive. Sorry. I've never.
You're good.
I've never had a mate before. And I think that was personally for me the most important portion of it. And I too was confused. Not necessarily scared, because I was just speaking to you how I was born and I was playing outside. I was part of that generation. I had dial-up internet. I had Snake on my Nokia. There were so many iterations, and now I just have Instagram on my phone constantly. You know what I mean? So things changed within my lifetime, and I was able to experience those changes. And then now, once again, things are changing within my life, and now this shift is slightly more complex. And not only that, I'm not growing up with it.
Yeah.
I have to actively put myself out there and actively learn, because for all intents and purposes, I could be that person talking about, let me print this Excel sheet at work or something like that, I don't want to be that older individual, but so now I'm just, trying to essentially just not get left behind.
I love it.
Anyone else?
I'd like to ask a quick question too. How many people here are for investment purposes of the transformation of wealth, or also, like she stated, to understand what is addition, the technology that can enhance their life? By raising hands. Are you here for the technology or here for the investment purposes? Both. That's honest.
Good answer.
Both? Yeah, that's honest. How to advance yourself. Okay.
Anyone else?
Go ahead.
So it's for oil, not essential oil.
What am I answering? Hello.
So basically, the question is really simple. It's kind of like you're in this space and you've been in this space, but what made you get into crypto? And is this something that you figure can change your life, or you're looking for to not be left behind, quote unquote, left behind,
Right.
or to evolve, right? Because something is simmering and is happening, and people are now finally seeing it because it's become mainstream. But we were in it since 2017, and then people were in it in 2009. But people are waking up now because it's becoming the thing on the TV.
Right. Right. So what I will say is the reason I started investing in crypto was I saw it as an opportunity. It was an opportunity like, hey, I could put this amount of money and get this much back. And you know, the more that I learned, I got excited about it actually. Like, this is exciting. It wasn't just something to do. There's something that you asked, and I had an answer, but I don't remember what else you asked. That was one of the reasons. Seeing that this is the way that the world is going, that especially before this presidency or this
Administration.
Anyway, I'll
Administration, right?
before this administration that's here now, I've known that it was something that's really important to do. Like, I'm a part of whole group, Journey to Wealth, and you know, being in that, it just makes a difference with investing, not just crypto, but investing overall, making sure that you have a IRA or a self-directed IRA, or for your business, having those funds and everything allocated. So it's really important, especially have a child, and not only just for him, but I think it's great for me to learn these things, to know it, because these are not things that my parents taught me. These are not things that they were taught, and especially with crypto, it can be seen really as a scary thing to do. I just took the bus here, and the bus driver wasn't supposed to come this way. He was a shuttle, and he was like, "Where you going?" I was like, "Where you going? You on my way?" So I got on the bus, and he took me here. So I said, "I'm going to a sip and chat. Do you invest in crypto?" He was like, "No, my homeboy's trying to tell me about Ethereum and Bitcoin." I was like, "I don't know about that." I said, "Yeah, but this is not the time to be, I don't know about that. Get it? It's now the time to actually be curious." I said, wherever there's fear or the unknown, it's time to be curious, because I said, us as a people, many of the times we are getting on at the 13th, 19th, whatever hour you want to call it, late. You know, and it's like, now, let's not be there. Let's not do that. Let's change. We can change the trajectory of our lives, the generations to come. So I'm always excited to just learn more, and my portfolio, the way it looks now compared to 2020, it's amazing. Like, so, and even this, and then even just acknowledging myself from where I was at to not knowing anything, and just being like, learning. So I think it's really important for us to let our families know, even though some of our families are just like, girl, bye, I ain't doing that, it's volatile, bye. And I'm like, give me $500 and I'll put it in, and then you see it work. But I ain't got time for that either. They want to do a deal with it. So thank you, madam. Have a mocktail. So yeah, that's what I'm just grateful to be in the space. I'm grateful to BK Crypto, because these are my peoples, and they're here for the community. They're outside in the summertime. They have the table set up, and they're just like, hello, we're bringing knowledge to our people. It is very important. So I would say, like my mentor says, lead with curiosity, not with fear. So just go learn about it.
Yep.
Thank you.
My name is Max, and I've always been to investing early. But I think I got into crypto, I would say, around COVID. I was home, with lockdowns. I was home, so I research and get into it. And that's when I started looking into crypto for work. but a lot of people, I work in tech, right? So
Okay.
a lot of people were telling me about it
Perfect marriage.
prior, so I actually regret not getting into it much sooner than I did, but I did jump in since COVID, kind of, a little bit, and then since then I've kind of built out a pretty good, portfolio,
Right.
I would say, but I'm not really an expert on it. I think I'm gonna be like, 40%, of what's going on, you know what I mean? But so I'm really here kind of like learn more, and kind of build that knowledge and just be more efficient, right?
Good.
Definitely. Thank you. Yes.
I was introduced to crypto like 15 years ago.
Wow.
I did not like the name,
Wow.
so I did not. I stay away from everyone, and I did not do it. I believe in real estate, and I think that I could talk, I could see. So, Alicia insisted through the years. She took my computer, I took my bank account, put me in there. And it's great. I'm doing real good. I don't know much how to go about it. So I wait till she check it for me and she's teaching me. But I'm not quite know what is crypto and where it builds, who make the money in what.
See?
And I'd like to know what I'm investing in and who really are good. And that's why I step back a little bit. It's a little bit religious, You don't want to end up with. And I am saying this because I wanted to market a product many years ago. I want to do it alone. And I realized that they told me that crypto and gambler, I could invest with them. But when I find out who they were, I eliminate everything. I don't want to do it.
Okay.
But
Conscious.
Yeah,
Conscious,
yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Next time?
Yes.
My name is Jerry, and I started investing in.
Hey, Jerry.
How you doing, Sean? In 2017, I got introduced to this through James.
James, I know,
James
brother.
put me on to
Love
Sean
to
and
see you.
crypto, and I'm more on the trading side of the cryptocurrency game. It's a rocky road, but however, there's a lot of money to be made. And if you understand tokenomics, if you understand developers, and if you understand, for me, the key is to be in the community.
Yes.
To be in the right community, you're gonna make a lot of money.
Yep.
Because they're gonna introduce you to people who know how to develop tokens. And I'm in the meme space.
Okay.
So I know developers that create tokens, and I get to see it early. That's how you kind of, it's like an inside trading, but it's legal, it's DeFi. That's what I like about it. Stock, they do the same thing on a high level. Crypto, we do it on a lower level, on a lower scale, but however, it's allowed. You know what I'm saying? So it's DeFi. And it's a lot of money to be made, and it changed my life, to be honest with you. So, and I'm here to speak about it. Anybody got questions about tokenomics, understanding tokens, what tokens and all that, I'm here for that. But I'm also, thank you a lot for you guys. You guys taught me a lot as well. And I'm here to learn the tech side of things. I want to learn how to, say we do get a lot of money, right? I want to be able to stake it, hold it. I don't want to trade.
There you go. Our language.
Yeah, my problem is this. So I can have a lot of Solana, right?
Okay.
But I use it to freaking gamble with.
That's honest. I love this conversation.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
Listening? Are you listening?
So what I do is I spend at least $100 a week
Yeah.
gambling tokens. So I'm looking at now, I don't want to do that. So I want to be able to stake my tokens. Also have money on the side.
8%, right?
Yeah. Because I want to be able to make money while sitting. Like say you have $100, you want to sit at least $1,000 a week or whatever. Just sitting there. That's the game I want to learn.
Dividends. The dividends.
Yes.
Right.
So that's why I'm here for the tech side too. So that's,
You in the right place. Like we talked earlier, with Brianna, and she's a trader too. She trades. And what you have to understand in this space is just figure out where you belong. What's your strengths, right? And then where you need to grow. Everything is about diversification, literally. And if you can get in the space and not being emotional and understand it, it'll allow you to grow. So we recommend everyone learn trading if you can. However, it has advanced with AI taking over and learning how to trade quicker because it's a machine. But doesn't mean you can't understand the candlesticks. Because I think the loss that we have in the community is not learning basics, even when it comes to financial literacy. So when we don't have the understanding of the basis of finance, budgeting, saving, and investing, then we get scared when something comes new. But at the end of the day, everything needs to grow, right? And then we need to grow, but we also not only to grow, we need to plant the seed so that it can sustain itself and to keep advancing. So as you mentioned, everything, if you invest in stocks, as our sister said, and the same thing with stocks, you can do the same thing in crypto. It's the same thing. They keep trying to scare you to make you think it's something different. It's not. So if you have Bitcoin, if you have Ethereum, if you have XRP, which is centralized and it's basically a cross-border payment, you can take that and put it on the platform and stake it for 5 or 3%, which means that your money should always make money for you, right? So nothing should be left behind. No money should be left on the table. I know you heard that saying before, right? It's to learn the new strategies and building your wealth, and it's digital assets. It's not going anywhere. But play safe where you feel comfortable at. But the technology is advanced. There is the blockchain. There is the NFTs. There is the staking. I mean, there's so many levels to this. There is the metaverse. You have to figure out where you belong. It's AI, yes. The artificial intelligence, then the AI agents. So we want to break it down and ask each other questions so that we can give you a bigger perspective, but also give you an example so you can understand where we really are. You ain't seen nothing yet, baby. We ain't touched the ground yet.
I was just going to say, and the reality is that even your traditional stocks are going to be placed on the blockchain.
100%.
So, you're
Tokenomics.
scared of it now, but yeah, all those assets are going to be on the blockchain very, very soon. Yeah. Sorry.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Blockchain, right? We know that these people, they play a different type of game as well.
Mm-hmm.
The blockchain, you can see what's going on, transactions back and forth.
Yeah.
So why, I don't know if I believe them thoroughly to be honest when it comes to the stock game. Because why would they want to see their gains and their losses and how they trade on the blockchain? When they want to hide that because they're all crooks.
There are, okay.
Because you can't hide when
You can't hide on the blockchain.
Yeah.
You can't hide
Why
it.
would they want to go with it?
You're not
Okay.
gonna be able to hide.
Okay, there are privacy coins
Yes,
on the blockchain,
correct.
and then some coins have privacy layers, and of course governments and all are going to want to be behind the privacy layer while we are on the public. Yeah. But I'm sorry. Okay, but it's important that that we understand these things, and but a few years ago they were they were shutting down most of the privacy coins, right?
Yeah, Monero.
Yeah, Monero being the biggest one. Yeah, they were shutting them down. But they're even looking to put a privacy layer on some of the top on Bitcoin as well, because the government doesn't want you to see what they're doing. It is what it is.
Very true, yeah.
Yeah, just to add to that, NASDAQ has already filed for having trading 24/7 on the blockchain.
Yes.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
20. So just the way that
Already.
crypto is 24/7, 365,
Right.
NASDAQ is only from 9 to 5, 9 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
5
So
days a week.
by 2026, the thought is bring stocks onto the blockchain so that they can trade 24/7, 365. And that's where, because they understand, the reason why they want to do it is simple. It's more money for them.
Right.
It's more money for them. And they see they're already in this game, and they see the fact that on a daily basis, you've got people in remote places. What's the most ubiquitous thing in the world right now? A cell phone. There's people in rural villages in the Philippines, in Africa, in China, in all of these places, they have a cell phone that they can get on and buy crypto.
Right.
So that's what they see, and they want that. US dollar tether is the biggest stable coin. Why? That's because across Latin America, across Africa, across Asia, where people need access to the dollar, they can go on their phone and get a hold of an actual stable coin of USDT.
Think about a crisis. Right?
Exactly. Anytime there's a crisis. So we think of it as, in all these places, a lot of people live in places where their currency is being constantly devalued. Here, our currency, the last 4 years, has been being devalued at about 15% per year. That's inflation. That's what inflation is. Zimbabwe, their inflation is like over 1,000%. You've got, Lebanon, 95%. They wanted an IMF loan, and they said, hey, we're willing to devalue our money 95% to be able to get that IMF loan. If you have 100,000, that means if you lived in Lebanon and you had $100,000 in the bank, once that loan goes through, what is that? It's $5,000 you got left. Its value is worth only $5,000, right? So one of the biggest things I always tell people is, I think cryptocurrency is a misnomer. The name, that's why I like using more digital access, because the reality is all of these chains are networks.
Right.
They're networks, right? There's something called
like Target.
Metcalfe's law.
Right.
Yeah, there's something called Metcalfe's law. A network is only as valuable as the amount of nodes on that network, right? Meaning Uber. What brings Uber value? The fact that everybody has that app on their phone to be able to call Uber. That's what gives Uber value. Cash App. What gives Cash App value? The fact that all of us have the app on our phone and we can literally use it. So the more people, what gives Facebook value? What gives Instagram value? We do, the people do. And we are all nodes. So it's the same premise in crypto. A network is only as valuable as the amount of nodes, meaning endpoints.
Okay.
How many endpoints there are on that network. We're all endpoints because of this.
Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, as I said, the misnomer is that all of these things are currencies. Ethereum is the world computer. Bitcoin is aiming to be a store of value. Solana is a chain for NFTs, for being able to launch meme coins and things like that. Fast transactions. XRP is the banking coin, and it's cross-border payments. There's a network called Peak Network, which is gearing to be the machine economy. I can put.
Is that again? Peak Network?
Oh, Peak. It's a beast.
PEAQ.
PEAQ. It's decentralized.
So
Depend.
what Peak Network is doing, they're doing things like, hey, I can put a charger in front of my home. Anybody that wants to charge their EV cars can come in front of my home and use my charger, and I get paid for it on the network.
Okay.
Electric cars?
Yes.
Yeah.
As well as they have what else do they have on Peak? It's
like driving app. Demo.
Yes. Demo driving app. So Demo, pretty much, you put this transponder in your vehicle, and you're pretty much allowing them to pretty much track traffic information, maps information, all of those things, all this information that's valuable to these companies that need to build things out. So that's part of where, to me, the crypto space is beautiful, because it gives the power back to the people. Same thing. It's the same thing with energy. If I have a solar panel on my house, why can I sell, and I have extra energy, why can't I sell that extra energy back to the grid or sell it to my neighbor, right? This is what decentralization is, and this is what these networks do. So I would say it's not only about watching the price. You've got to understand what these different networks are and what they do, because that's where the value is. I tell people, don't chase price, chase value. Because that's what Bitcoin is right now. Everybody sees that price of $82,000 to $85,000 now, but that's not the true value.
Right.
The value in Bitcoin is the fact that your government can't take it from you.
Yeah.
The value in Bitcoin is that, look at what happened in
Purchasing power.
in Ukraine. When the Ukraine and Russia war started, people who had Bitcoin wallets was able to go to some car dealership, pay with their Bitcoin when they couldn't get money out of the ATM.
Or have gold bars. And they
And
couldn't
have
go.
gold.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, or,
Right, transfer
right. You
gold
can't
bars.
walk around
Definitely.
with your gold bar.
Yeah.
You know, one time I sent money to my cousin in Guyana. Traditionally, I would have to either use what, take a MoneyGram or Western
Western
Union,
Union.
right? What do? They charge you a fee. What does he have to do? Get out of his house, go down, provide his ID, and then they charge him a fee on that, right? I sent him Bitcoin within
That part. If you have ID.
within less than 2, if you have ID, right? I sent them Bitcoin within less than 2 minutes. That's the difference. That's the difference. That's the value of it. We live in a country where we're blessed to have bank accounts. Most of us have bank accounts. There's so many people around the globe, over 4 billion people around the globe that don't have bank accounts.
Right.
How do they transact in their daily lives? You know, but that's the thing. Even those countries, they don't have that because it has to be attached to a bank account. That's the difference. With crypto, you just download a wallet,
Peer to
and
peer.
you have that money there. So now we see the banks coming in here, and what's happening is it's an arms race from country. So you've got the U.S. signaling to the rest of the world that we want to be the Bitcoin capital.
Yeah.
What did Russia say? Russia has huge Bitcoin mining. China has huge Bitcoin mining. And these are enemies. So I laugh all the time when people say, well, Bitcoin was created by the NSA. No. It's the cryptographic algorithm that's underlying Bitcoin that's used, which is called SHA-258, right? That's all it is.
Can you explain though for some? I know that you have questions of crypto. What is mining?
So with mining is involved in proof of work, right? Bitcoin is a proof of work coin. So what that says is, so the way the Bitcoin network works is every 10 minutes, there's a block that's created, right? So these miners are the ones that have the chance, they have these special machines to make updates to that block, because as we said, this is the blockchain. So hence the word blockchain. Every 10 minutes you have a block, which forms a chain because that block is updated every 10 minutes, every 10 minutes, every 10 minutes. So these miners, what they do is there's over, I think now it's closer to 90,000 different mining machines around the world for the Bitcoin blockchain. So when that next block is expected to be created, a mathematical equation is sent out to the whole entire chain. So whichever computer solves that equation first, that miner A gets some Bitcoin, and B, their machine gets to update the blockchain. So that blockchain is on all the mining machines, and it's updated on all the mining machines after that's created. That's why in the stock world now, you've got like Mara, a lot of these big mining companies out here because they're competing for Bitcoin, literally. Bhutan is a country in, is it close to Thailand?
Thailand.
Southeast
Yeah,
Asia,
correct.
over there. They're using hydroelectric mining, right, for their country. They're literally making mining a huge part of their economy because they're using their hydroelectric power to mine Bitcoin to be able to build up their country's amount of Bitcoin. I think now they are the 4th largest country in the world in terms of the amount of Bitcoin they own.
I'm just talking to your question, and right, because I love that you said that you really invest in real estate. I'm a real estate investor. She does real estate investor, and I know you come from a place in your life of tangibility and understanding. But what he explained is that when things are evolving with technology, the ownership right now is the technology.
Yes.
So it's not the person. Just to answer your question, Bitcoin is not owned by anybody, so it's decentralized. So it's the people's money. And so now, as you have real estate, you have companies called property, which is now you're putting your properties on the blockchain, and now you can have portions or fractions, and you can sell a portion of that. So it's just you also to educate yourself in this space, in the digitalization of real estate. You will advance in that space. Does that make sense? It's just evolving.
And when you say mining, what exactly do you mean? Mining
Algorithms.
It's an algorithm.
It's mathematical algorithms being
Yes.
solved by like.
Yes, and not every blockchain has is deals with mining. It's only the proof of work. It's called, that's the consensus mechanism. It's called a consensus mechanism. Ethereum is proof of stake.
Now.
Yes, they used to be proof of work. You had a question?
For all the new guys, I think the best thing to do is to just look up the definition of word. Each time you speak, write the word down and look it up, because
Agreed.
Yeah,
You-
the jargon is.
it's the verbiage. If you don't understand the verbiage, you're not gonna understand. I can understand, like, if you're new to this,
I
everything
can
you're
send you
saying
some stuff.
foreign. It sounds
My
foreign.
teacher taught us all of it. I can send it to you.
Okay.
No, I'm cool with it, but I'm just saying for the new people.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I would say write down each word and just look it up. And then YouTube, to listen to it every day. It's gonna take some time to understand it. It's not an overnight thing. So I just want to get that heads up.
Yeah.
Wait, let me do this. Just for, I did you asking about staking and proof of work, right? Well, proof of work is similar to, like, you play spades.
Yeah.
So there's books, right? And you kind of predict, like, how many books are you gonna have. That ledger is kind of like the blockchain, and it tells you everybody knows every step by the way and everything that's going on. Just to keep it on the simpler side. It's more complex than that, but just to have it more simplified, is just being able to have everything on the ledger, and there's always somebody having an account for what's going on when it comes to proof of stake.
Yes.
Yes. Well said.
Well said, James.
You sound like y'all gotta explain what proof of.
Proof of life.
the hardest part.
So again,
Real world assets.
the real value in Bitcoin is that, again, for the first time in history, we have something where there's a separation between money and the state. For the first time ever, every other semblance of money that's ever been created has always been attached to a government.
Right.
Bitcoin is not attached to any government. You can't go and say, hey, CEO of Bitcoin, we want to call you up to Congress, because there is nobody. That's why it's called the people's money.
And that's why and if you could just explain, but I want you to share that too, to understand what's happening now. So if you understand that no one controls it, and the banks are like, oh, how do we control the people's money? To control the people, they got to gobble it all up. So they got to create fear tactics. Do you understand? Because the bank was created, right, to control the masses as well as, the whole Fed. But anyway, once you understand that we the people, we're supposed to be the government is supposed to listen to us. So if now we are and we have access to the people's money, you think they want to get left behind?
Negative.
So they got to play tactics and games with your mind to make you fear when they were already in the club in 2013, 2010, gathering all up, and then now realize because of custody, which is why most money is not, which is why most private management companies or banks were involved, because they didn't have custody, because everyone wants to quote unquote FDIC, secure my money. So now if I'm putting my money into Bitcoin, and if something were to happen, can I be secured? Well, now you have custody. Now you have trust. Now you have this new regulation. This new administration putting in more regulations in this space. What do you think is going to happen? They're about to blow up. They're clearing the way for themselves. It's the same game. But we have to get on it and understand what's happening, like decode it as a community so that we can all prosper. They want Black Friday sale of Bitcoin and everything else before they press a button saying, we're on now. We got all our collections. We told all the retailers, they sold everything, and now we're going to gobble everything up. We cannot let that happen for us this time. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me see this one. I think definitely you all should look at BlackRock, right? Everyone in this group should go figure out who is BlackRock. So do a Google search and look at it, see who is BlackRock. BlackRock owns everything in the world. They're the biggest, like everything.
Biggest asset
Right.
manager.
So if BlackRock says something is going to be big, it's going to happen because they're that big. They're worth about what $14 trillion in terms of like market cap. Like they control that amount of money, right? So if BlackRock's doing it, I would suggest you look into it because they are the money, right?
Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead.
But also, like, do we
what?
like do we need to copy them?
No,
No,
not
not
like
copy.
copy them.
They're horrible.
No, I'm saying no,
Okay.
no. Pay attention to what they're actually doing.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You know, there's also a website where you can follow every politician's trade.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you literally just copy what their trades are,
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
you literally can make a lot of
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Copy trading.
So knowing
Yeah.
what BlackRock is, knowing what Grayscale is, knowing about Fidelity, JP Morgan, right? These are the money makers in the industry. They run the money world, right? So if they're buying up Bitcoin and crypto, there's a reason why they're doing it, right? It's not for nothing, right? And they've been doing it for like a long time, right? They've been lying to us for about 10 years, probably, right? They've been lying to you, literally. They've been lying to you, like consistently, right? And guess what? It's been working because even up to now, the average person still thinks that Bitcoin is a scam. It's gonna be 20 years in 2028. 20 years that Bitcoin's been around. 20 years, and folks still think it's a scam.
Because we program. I think that it's fear of like not doing stuff on your own. We're so programmed for like the banks or whatever to
Yeah.
do stuff for us. You know, to put stuff in the bank, savings account. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For someone else to control our assets. When Bitcoin is not about that life, baby boy, baby girl. You know what I'm saying? It's about real talk. Like it's about like
Right.
bossing up. Real talk. That's what it's really all about. Being your own boss, controlling your own assets, knowing what you have in your account and stuff like that. Like, so I think that's what it is. The overall in general, like the fear of like doing things on your own.
Becoming your own bank.
Yeah.
It's becoming your own bank, and I think
That's what I think.
I think there's so many people afraid of that responsibility because
Right.
it's a huge responsibility,
Right.
Again, to become your own bank. But once again, these platforms like the DeFi space, I can go and lend my Solana to someplace like Margin 5, get like 3% interest on it, right? So I'm lending my assets to that platform so that business can run. So again, in the decentralized arena, the reality is we, the people, provide the liquidity. These people are not going for loans to this bank or that bank. It's a global economy where we, the people, are providing the liquidity. So while I lend that, I can go on the other end and borrow against my assets at the same time. And again, that's tax-free because that's a loan, which I've personally done myself. I've lent to the platform and I borrow on the other end. And now it's not that easily. It's a lot more complicated because you got to look at, your liquidation price, and you got to make sure that your loan to value terms like that. But for the first time, we don't have to go to a bank to do those things. We can do that on our own. And that's the power of this industry. And that's one of the things that people don't realize that you see in the background. So what's happening now? In January, they changed Congress. Well, the SEC, the new SEC said, hey, we are going to now allow banks to be able to buy, sell, and custody crypto. They just changed it. SAB 121.
What does that mean now?
So what does that mean, right? Unfortunately, mass adoption, that means mass adoption looks like most people being comfortable with banks, so they are going to buy
Bitcoin
and hold it at the bank. They're going to buy Solana and hold it at the bank. Now, what does that do? What is the bank going to do?
What does that do?
They're going to stake it.
There you go.
They're hold your mouth open for you.
Exactly.
Right. Listen.
Instead of the 9% that they'll lend out,
Boom.
Boom.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
James.
Explain it,
Go ahead,
James.
James.
Exactly.
You know what they're going to do.
Exactly.
so it's called fractional reserve lending.
That's
Mhm.
right.
So instead of giving out 9%, they'll lend out 9% on top of the average of 20 to 40% of average that you gain by holding crypto.
Yes.
And then they have the stable coins, and they have bank managers who know how to forecast the market. So they'll 200, 600, 3,000 times their money based on you giving them your crypto.
You
As opposed to you holding.
exactly. They hold. Just imagine they will hold everybody's crypto. And remember, we have the DeFi space. So let's say Solana, I can go myself and go stake my Solana in my wallet for 8%. If they have $200 million worth of customer deposits, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to take all of those deposits and go stake it for 8%. Do the math. 200 million
On 8%.
on 8%. And guess what? To give the incentive for the new customers, they're going to say, hey, yeah, we're going to give you 2%. And they're going to keep the 6.
And you're gonna think that's a lot. Oh my God, 2%.
You're gonna think
Because it's
what
more
bank,
than
right?
banks.
Most people don't understand that the fact that you can do this yourself, but because they've made the space so toxic and made it seems like, and they've made it seem like it's such a scam, nobody's gonna want to do that, right? And it's gonna be the same old thing. So
Yes,
go ahead.
Right.
There's multiple. So each chain has, not all chains you can stake. Mostly proof of stake coins, obviously. So there's a website called stakingrewards.com.
Right.
That's where you can go to see where you can stake at reputable validators, and what percentage yield you'll get for staking. So.
But it goes
So, yeah.
on the mainnet as well. So, okay. Bro,
Good.
brother, if you have any questions, brother?
Oh, you had a question?
No.
What I wanted to say, so what's your name? Nikki. What Nikki touched on.
Monster Nikki.
Monster Nikki. What she had said was, well, to piggyback over something she said, which is something I think is extremely important. Like, even when we tell our families different things about this, and they say no, and like she said, like we were over here chatting, like if Bank of America or anybody said, okay, now we have it and we'll do it for you, they would feel more comfortable. And a lot of this has to do with programming. Like we have been programmed for so long. The government, right? So it's so, and then we talking about like I speak for myself in my 40s, right? And then there's people who are older than us. So getting older generations, it's like, girl, bye. So it's like I tell my thing, like the best thing that we can do is be adaptable. But a large part of this is mindset. So even if you don't have the mindset of, like change is good, change can be good, and people just not going to be with it. Like and the other part I'll say about mindset is it's not just about us going and purchasing and being like, okay, let's take this risk, but it's also about us doing the work, the spiritual work, the energy work of like what that's going to look like. So when your stocks are going down, when your crypto's going down, you're not ready to jump on the building, or you just like, okay, let me breathe, let me take a deep breath, and let me see that this is a sale, as opposed to, oh my goodness. So, and that's what our financial soul healer sister Rashona over here does also that kind of work. So it's just really important. I just want to say that like it's about our mindset. That's a large part of it because some people are not able to just set it and forget, even if it's long-term investment. They just like watching. I'm like, are you trading?
This is trauma.
Yeah. So, thank you.
You have a question? You have a question?
I do know.
All right, I was gonna say this, right? Like,
You should have a question.
the question? Okay.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
if you had to tell someone who was starting from scratch, didn't know anything,
Right.
What to start with? What's the first 3 things you would say that they would need to start with?
Start what? The
Crypto journey.
journey. The first thing I would say is this couple books, right? The Bitcoin Standard. That's the first one I would say, right? Bitcoin Standard, right? This gives you a broader sense of Bitcoin, because this is the entry point, Bitcoin, right? When you get into Bitcoin, then you go into the other coins as well, right? So definitely educating yourself, the Bitcoin Standard for one. There's another one by Andreas Antonopoulos called what the name of this book? I think it's the what's it called again? I forgot the name of it, but I'll let you know. He's the one guy to follow as well, Andreas Antonopoulos, because he's been in the space for like probably I'll say 13, 14 years, and he has a long-term vision on where the space is going. And also, just be super curious, right? So,
Is it Mastering Bitcoin?
no, I think it's called The Internet of Money. I think.
Yeah, it's enough money.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
That's an amazing book, right? These books will give you a broader image of the like bigger picture, right? Because this is not just for right now. This technology is going to be there for at least 100 years, easily, right? So these are the 2 books I'll say, and just be curious, right? And look at documentaries about stuff, and just observe the world and how money moves a lot, right? I think these 3 things are the first thing that you definitely look into, but also start with being curious. You got to be curious about it, right? Because if you're not, it doesn't really make sense, right? You got to want to learn, right?
Understand your why.
Yeah, the
gotta
why.
make sense
Why
of
you want
why.
to be there, right?
Download what?
Download Coinbase.
Well,
Yeah,
that's one.
that's-
That's one on
That's
one
the
on
only
one, right?
15.
But-
But I'm gonna get there.
Yeah, but definitely is learning, getting the fundamental knowledge of it. Because once you have that, then you can build on top of it, right? Now, it doesn't make sense to jump into the crypto space and then you don't know nothing about, you don't have no idea about the fundamentals why it's there, right? Because when you know that, then it gives you a much better picture and how to navigate through the space. You know where it's going.
Just to add to what you're saying too, because I like Andreas Antonopoulos, and he actually is how I also got into a lot of my research.
Yeah.
It's understanding why you're in the space. But if you're first in it for curiosity and also to invest, I personally would say don't take 3 to 6 months to wait to invest, because the time now is different than when we started researching and learning.
That is true.
It is understanding what you're willing to lose, even with $1. Because with Andreas Antonopoulos, when he started, he had to buy it in Japan over like, was it the internet or something like that? Paper,
Yeah.
a paper version of a paper wallet, because he wanted to understand how it worked. You understand? So to be honest, like when you deal with technology, it's research, but you gotta get in it to understand how
Curious.
it works.
You gotta want to learn. Yeah.
Only put in what you're willing to lose. I would also recommend in your research to join a community, whether it's us or someone else, because when we did it, we ain't sleep. It was like a high, like it was like addiction. It was addiction, and sometimes if you have a 9 to 5, it's not healthy, right? Because it becomes an addiction. And so I recommend, if you're passionate about the future and change, you're passionate about investing, find a communities that can support you, get some YouTubes, carve out your time to do your research, and also jump in safely with what you're willing to lose to see how the technology works as well.
And also,
Go ahead.
I also have an entry point too. When you open up your Coinbase account, you can dollar cost average into, I would say,
Right. Yeah.
on Bitcoin,
Dollar
Ethereum.
cost average.
Dollar cost average meaning every time you get paid, you throw in $10, $5.
Mm-hmm.
You can set it up on Coinbase in a way where they automate exactly automatic. As soon as you get paid, you put $10 in, $20 in, $50 in. You're never gonna realize it. So just do it every week or every 2 weeks, however you get paid. That's an entryway right there.
Correct.
You can do that with. No. I was just gonna say you can do that with Coinbase. You can also do it with Swan Bitcoin if you're only looking to buy Bitcoin.
And Gemini.
Gemini. But somebody did set that up in Gemini, and then her
didn't have
transactions did not
anything.
take place all when it was low. Yeah. So you never know.
Coinbase is regulated, and it's one of the top ones that everyone's using.
Yeah.
You're looking for something safe, to be honest.
True.
But they're only shady because they're dealing with big money now,
Yeah.
and that's the point where they're rather to how do we say it? feed the big dogs first before they give you your money to transact. So, like
That's true.
before, when we started, it was like a day you can cash out or whatever,
Right.
or you put $1,000 in and it'll be available. Now they want you to wait for like 7 days.
Or
Right?
more.
Or
Some
more.
people, some people
And
it's
that's
like a month.
bank because it's becoming like a bank now.
A month, yeah. They got their banking license,
Yeah.
and after they got
Right,
their banking license,
correct, like a
so
bank.
now they hold on to a lot of people's money for weeks and weeks, not just 1 or 2 days. Yeah, and then the other thing that Coinbase is doing now is that they're charging you as soon as you put the money on the platform. They're like taking a fee out of it before you've even done a transaction, which is ridiculous.
So this is not to create any type of fear or not against the
No,
space.
just
It's-
telling you exactly
okay.
what's going on.
Yeah, but it's something. If you're like, I need to get in, it doesn't matter the fee. Does that make sense? Because I think what happens to people who, not you, who have issues or relationship with money, you don't move. And so when you hold on to that space, right, of that energy of lack or I'm losing, a lack of I'm losing, then you're really missing out on something bigger because you have a bigger vision to create. But this small consciousness telling you, no, that fee is this. When you think about it, can you put $5 somewhere and in the next 2 days gain 6 cents? That's a gain. But in most people's mindset, it's like this. That's not a lot. But when you put your money in the bank for 10 days, they're going to charge you a fee. Are they not? Of that $10. We have to change the way we're programmed and how we're thinking. 6 cents a day times 30. How much is that?
A lot more.
Do you understand? And this is what we want our community to start really thinking and understand the change. And so, we have more advanced things that we do and teach, which is we don't have to always go through Coinbase. You can go through centralized platforms, but that's a whole nother level. But there's levels here.
Yeah.
There's levels.
I need the other side.
You gotta cross.
You gotta cross.
before
You don't want to,
before you
right?
walk.
I mean, we actually have a partner, a dentist, who literally, he doesn't have a bank. He literally is paying his mortgage, his utilities, his light bill, everything is thinking through literally
I'm sure he
just
saves so
crypto.
much money just on transactions.
and transactions in itself, right? But
Costs.
he's taught himself and he plays some games. He has some losses, but he understands the territory and the place where we are. And so everyone is not meant to be your own bank either, and that's okay. You might need a bank because you have trillions of dollars, and that's fine. But we just want you to still be in the space to understand that this is life changing.
But also look at this, right? There are right now you can buy anything with some crypto, literally. There are crypto credit cards, right? And it's going to be happening more and more. There are crypto cards where you can actually buy anything, groceries, a car, a plane, whatever, right? So the fact that it's already happening, it shows you that it's being infused into. Let me say this much, right? When Google or Microsoft says, or Samsung says, we're going to put crypto wallets on your phone, the game is over.
Mm-hmm.
Just with like one click. Exactly. It's a wrap. So once Google says that they're about to put
You going shopping?
a wallet on your phone, every phone in the world,
It's real.
the game is over. Because that could happen literally in one night, right?
What's the logo on
It's
there?
phones, right? Visa, right? So it shows you that it's happening already. So they're making the entire ecosystem for this to actually survive, right? Credit cards, this, that. So this ain't going anywhere. And also, the elephant in the room is actually AI, right? That's
Yes,
about to
talk
come and
about
destroy
that.
everything, right? AI, when you mix AI with crypto, it's a perfect marriage, right? Because it's all digital. It's all like in the future, right? In about 4 or 5 years from now, AI is coming for like jobs. It's already happening, right? Every single day. Accountants, engineers, etc., right? So what's
Real estate.
real estate as well. So what's really going to happen, right? If AI is coming for this, right? And folks are not seeing what's happening. It's coming and it's coming. It's here actually. And people are not seeing, right, how many jobs have been lost because of AI already. It's happening already every day, but no one's talking about it, right? So as it's going to merge with money, which is going to be perfect, right? So just think of it as a paradigm shift where everything is going to be digital, and then comes the robots. The robots with AI, right? So think about this, right? They're going to be everywhere, right? AI with robots is a beautiful marriage because AI works with machines, right? So you're gonna tell the AI, okay, I have this amount of money. You're gonna tell the AI agent, can you make me this amount of money? And it's gonna go out there with the agents and it's gonna find ways to make the money for you.
How the agents getting paid?
Exactly. I
They
mean,
can't get a bank account.
exactly right. So
they could get a digital wallet, a crypto
This
wallet.
is real, yeah.
So again, there are AI agents with crypto, and then it's also the metaverse, which to me the metaverse is the to me yeah, but the metaverse is the combination of all this, right? AI, mixed with NFTs, it's the whole world of new stuff, right? Like land, right? So they're gonna put the entire world onto the metaverse, right? They're gonna digitize, tokenize everything on the planet, right? Buildings, houses, or whatever, tokenization, right? You'll actually be able to buy a piece of a building, a piece of a painting. That's unheard of, right? These things could never happen before, right? A piece of a like basketball team. Everything is gonna be tokenized. Everything. So knowing these things is happening already, you gotta put yourself in the right position to make it happen, right? Because it's happening. It's gonna happen whether you want it to or not. It's happening. So what you gonna do about it, right?
I want to speak some numbers real quick.
Okay, we like numbers.
Nobody believed Bitcoin would have hit 17,000. This one I met him, right? Nobody believed it would have hit 50,000 and it hit 100,000.
Yep.
So the next leg up is $1 million.
Talk
Saying
about
this now.
it. Talk about
So
it. Talk about it.
the same way I didn't.
But why? I want you to explain why that's possible, right? For those who can't understand the
10x from here.
the gains, because we just said that the banking people are in it now. They can move money quicker. So they're probably like, oh, 108,000 to $1 million. But why is that really possible now?
Because it's only 21 million Bitcoins.
Finite.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not. He's more of
No, you do.
I just know market cap and liquidity.
But
I don't know about the
But
tech
that's
like
all you need to know, because you're saying the simple things that rich people understand.
It's scarce. It's value.
But why is that different than our money, our dollars?
Because they create the dollar.
Right.
Yeah.
They
So
print
with
it.
this, if you could gain at least one Bitcoin, the kids gonna be rich. Basically, instead of buying a property, I would buy Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
My opinion.
They
Why?
say
First of
they
all,
say
first
even
of
a
all,
tenth.
Now, if
Even
somebody
0.1.
wants Bitcoin for me, I'm gonna charge you.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't give it to you like that. It's a hustle, and this is what they're doing. So
Yeah.
I just want everybody to understand. Right now, I'm saying this right now. It's going to $1 million plus. We just might not see it next 10 years, whatever. It's going there.
I think
We
it's
just-
five.
And it'll be
It hit five.
I think in 5 years.
Yeah.
It'll be
See it
traced.
get a-
So we just have to just get in. If you can just at least get in a couple $1,000s or whatever it is, anything you have, just get in.
But
Hold.
But to your point, right?
Yes.
You say get in, but people are like,
It's
oh,
gonna
I don't
go
have
up
$1
and
million. Oh, I can't afford that, right?
No. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
Fractional.
fraction, but also how are we able now to build cooperative economics, right? So maybe you can't afford a whole Bitcoin, but you get a percentage and you get a percentage, and we're saying we want to buy that building, that land. We can do that. People have to have vision.
Yeah.
It's a community, and that's what they're doing. The reason why Crown Heights invests as what it is, because way back when those big magic companies saw Brooklyn was the next thing, they pooled their money together and bought all those buildings.
Yep.
So
Yes.
to add to what you're saying, $1 million to $5 million, this is one thing I'll add. Somebody talked about this, and he was like, "There's going to be a hack. There's going to be a country who's going to figure this out." So the shoot up is when there's the old school guys, the old guard of guys who do not want to sell. They're just going to hold. It doesn't matter. It's not about being rich or wealthy for them. It's about screwing the system, right? So they got those guards of people who are not going to let go of their crypto, right? And then they just might lend it out, but they're not going to sell it, right? Then you'll have a country who will be wise enough and say, you know what? We have all this fiat. Why don't we just print up a whole bunch of money?
There you go.
Buy the crypto, and the value will go up because the dollar is going to go into crap to shit. So we might as well just print while we have the opportunity to print money, and with the crypto, especially Bitcoin, is so finite. We could print as much as we can, jump on that bandwagon, and then the dollar goes to value, but to nothing. But yet we still hold on to all this crypto, and values continue to go up. So the country to figure that out, and then you have what is it? Not not so they're basically close to being able to pay.
El Salvador?
Oh, you're talking
El Salvador.
El Salvador.
They
Yeah.
on the
They
debt.
probably covered that.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
on
they
the
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're done. El Salvador, they on the debt.
Yeah, so El Salvador is the closest one because they jumped on early
Yeah.
and said, you know what? And then there's going to be other countries to follow. So that system of everybody following suit is going to make everything jump up. That's my and that's the answer.
Right, and are you inside, are you claiming things?
To piggyback off
They're
of what
buying
James
it.
is saying,
Yeah.
to piggyback off of what James is saying, right? MicroStrategy is doing exactly that.
Yeah.
They are
Wow.
selling their debt to
Yeah.
buy more Bitcoin. They're selling fiat dollars to buy more Bitcoin. So that's the hack that James is talking about. So companies, the company MicroStrategy has figured it out. MicroStrategy started investing in Bitcoin in 2020. Since then, their company stock has raised over 2,200%.
Exactly.
2,200%.
GameStop
How much
just
is
announced
that?
that they're
That's
going to
what?
start
GameStop
buying
just
crypto.
announced that they're putting their money into Bitcoin. So again, that's the hack. People, companies, countries are figuring, screw fiat. We're gonna use this fiat to get Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And
That's
think about it this way. There's over 50 million millionaires in the world. There's only 21 million Bitcoin. There's not even enough Bitcoin for every millionaire to have one whole Bitcoin.
A lot of it's lost.
They always seem to be what? The first trillion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They'll do it.
Yeah.
They want to flex. They all want to flex. They're like, yeah, I'm the first trillionaire.
Exactly.
Mhm.
That's the flex right there.
Yes.
So, and that speaks to, and the reason why I say the next 3 to 5 years, I think it's going to meet a million, is because of this is how adoption curves reach. Right now, we have about 7-8% global penetration, meaning 7-8% of the globe is in crypto, right? So the adoption curve is an elliptical. It's an elliptical. So it starts off slowly, right? You have the early adopters, the innovators, early adopters. Then you get, Wall Street and these guys in, and then you get to the top. Then you start to really move up. So the first 10 to 15 years that it takes to get to where we were at $100,000, it's going to take only 3 to 5 years to get to that second phase, because that second phase is when you're pulling in all that money very quickly, and you're on the rise up. So
I'll say this much, right? Let me
Before
say
we
this.
wrap it up.
I'll say this. All right, there's something called OTC, right? It means over the counter, right? So there are people who buying Bitcoin right now, but it's not going to show on the books because they're buying the Bitcoin over the counter, meaning that they're buying big amounts of Bitcoin, but they're spreading it out over like many different exchanges so that it doesn't affect the market. So example, let's say Michael Saylor wants to buy $500 million worth of Bitcoin, right? He won't go directly on the exchange to buy. He's going to give it to a certain company called OTC that's going to spread out this purchase among 20 exchanges over like 2 weeks, so it wouldn't affect the market. So actually, we don't know who's really buying it. They're buying it behind the scenes, but we just don't know, right? And this is what I'm saying. Like right now, there are about 70 companies who've been buying Bitcoin. 70 companies around the world, right? Eventually, it's going to be Apple, then Google, then every other company is going to want it, right? To put it on their balance sheet. Then comes the Arabs, who are already there, right? The Arabs with the big oil money, they're in already, right? So all these big entities are already buying crypto already, but just we don't know that. Family offices, wirehouses, right? So it's just the average person like us who's thinking, oh my God, it's a scam, blah, blah, blah. The big money is buying people. Like it's, you know what I mean? So the more we see it happen every day, we understand like it's happening and we have to get it because they're buying it by the billions every single day. And even when the price drops, oh my God, it's dropping. It's going to go to zero. No, it ain't going to zero. It's not, it's a wrap. It's going to millions. 1 million, then 5 million, then 10 million, then.
And there will be retracements.
Yes, there will be pullbacks, but in the long term, it's going there.
I think the biggest thing before we end this.
And
Yeah,
just
well,
before we end, and remember again the why, because even
Yeah,
they
that's what I'm gonna
even they realize that they need something that is separate from government control. That's the why. That's where the value is. Even they know that at the end of the day, their bank accounts can get frozen.
Right.
They know that.
Yeah.
But if they have their own crypto, they know I can do whatever I want. I can go wherever I want. If I want to leave this country, I don't have to claim it on an immigration form. I have my own wallet. So that's the why. That's the value of Bitcoin. Again, you have that separation of money from the state. If I left this country right now, I'd have to sell all my stocks. I'd have to sell all my real estate. I'd have to go into TD Ameritrade, sell my stuff to get that money. If I have gold, you think I can walk through the airport with gold? No. I'd have to sell everything if I wanted to totally get away from this country, right? But again, that's the power and the value of Bitcoin. No bank can seize it. No government can seize it. Nobody doesn't even know you have to have it. It's just in your wallet. That's it. And as long as you have that 12 phrase or 24 phrase security code, you have access to it anywhere you go.
Definitely. So this is always a pleasure. We do this every month. But if you like the conversation and you also want to learn about behind the scenes, which is not being taught, you can follow us at www.bkcryptocoach.com. We do have fundamental classes for beginners and advanced. For those who understand crypto more, we can kind of teach you the next level of what's happening. But if you're also looking for a community, and it could be anyone, but if your soul speaks, if BK Crypto speaks to your soul, we basically have a community that you can join. Again, you can find us at www.bkcryptocoach.com as well, and you can QR code. But those who are listening to on YouTube, we're here. We've been here since 2017. We're not going anywhere because we're on a mission. Because at the end of the day, not only understanding your why, but if you're really here to understand your purpose and to transform other lives, then you need to tap in. Because the only thing that's constant is change. So learn, thrive, and expand. BK Crypto, we're here for you. Thank you.
There's a 40% off code.
Oh, there's a 40% off code too. We do give sales.
Crypto Community 40.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, you can show it if you want to.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
If you're interested in
That was great.
following the scanners, our information is here.
Crypto Community 40. So, okay, great. I was just, it was so.
Because we're all going to go higher. But this is a year. This is a 9-year. And 20 years, this is the first year. It's about to go boom.
Oh. Hi, jump out girls.
There we go.